there was also something about um, using the algorithm to our best advantage to help the algorithm know what we want to see and to remind ourselves that we've basically got more control over what we see online than we think we do. So I went live on Instagram earlier and I put something on my main Instagram feed as well about how you could just tidy up your Instagram feed. And it struck me that a lot of it is relevant to here as well. We've been doing a lot of thinking about this in preparation for a sort of summer detox challenge that I'm going to be doing with Claire Venus. I think it starts in July, but basically we're going to be cleaning up our social media a little bit. And part of that is looking at how you're using it and why you're using it and what you're seeing while you're there. And I think particularly with Instagram, I am really guilty of being quite passive when I'm scrolling. It's a bit like looking at, you sort of flicking through the pages of a magazine almost. It's that kind of passive consumption. You're not really engaged with it. You're not really commenting or liking or anything like that. You're just looking at pretty pictures. And goodness, there's lots to look at, isn't there? It's just constant. There's so much of it. So it's quite helpful, I think, just to have a look at the content that you're seeing and to check in with it and sort of say, is this what I want to be seeing? Is this what I want to see when I log in? Because the algorithm will fire hose you with stuff. It will just keep it coming, won't it? So on Instagram, I shared a few tips for how you can clean up your feed and give it a little bit of a spring clean. I think sometimes we forget how long we've been on the internet. I mean, I'm Gen Z. Claire Venus, who I mentioned earlier, she's millennial, elder millennial. We've been on the internet a long time. I've been on Instagram a long time. I've been there over 10 years. And there are some people that I've been following there almost since day one. And some good friends. I've made some good friends there. But I think when you look at the number of followers, I mean, allegedly, I have 30,000 followers on Instagram. And I can't believe they're all still current. I can't believe they're all still current accounts. But there's no really good way to weed out inactive accounts there. So it is unfortunately a bit of a manual process. But one thing I sometimes find is helpful is on Instagram to go to, so rather than just looking at the normal feed it gives you, just tap on the little thing at the top left and switch it to your following feed. And that just shows you a feed of people that you follow. And then you can just go through that and what I try and do is just make an active effort just to like and comment on things that I want to see. And that kind of tells the algorithm, yeah, I like that, show me more of that, please. And that's the same on here on Substack Notes. It works in exactly the same way. The more that you engage and comment on content you want to see, the more the algorithm will show you that kind of comment, that kind of content. So when I'm going through the following feed on Instagram, it's it's ad free, which is always nice. But also it's a chance to look at what you are seeing. And sometimes there's accounts on there that you don't want to see anymore. You've moved, the content doesn't resonate with you anymore, or you're just not interested. So you can just quickly unfollow, or you can mute, or whatever you want. I think sometimes we get quite hung up in this idea of following and unfollowing, and it's easy to forget that actually it's just a social media. It's supposed to be for fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not. You haven't signed a contract for life when you follow somebody. You follow someone because you're interested. And equally, if you're not interested at a later date, it's fine to unfollow. No one minds. And if they do mind, then that says more about them than it does about you. So you are perfectly. There's nothing wrong with curating the feed that you want to see. So yeah, that was my one tip, was to go through your following feed. And the other thing is as well, thankfully it doesn't apply on Substack because we don't have adverts yet. But on Instagram you do see adverts and you see a lot of them. But you can tap the little three dots in the corner, it will still find other things to show you. But if you're finding that you're seeing a lot of, I see tons of weight loss adverts. Thanks. I see weight loss adverts. I see yoga, and I see the other one I've been seeing a lot of recently. Weird coffee substitutes. I don't want a coffee substitute. I want coffee. But yeah, the Instagram algorithm decided that's what I want to see. So if you tap the three little dots, it will get rid of those and show you some different ones instead. So yeah, that was the main thing really. But it was just to kind of, remind me as much as anybody else that, it's easy to kind of be quite passive and to complain about what the algorithm shows you. But the algorithm is that it will show you what you focus on. So if you focus on the negative and you focus on the things that you don't want to see, it will show you more of them. Even just like, particularly on Instagram, it's terrible. Even if you just kind of, as you're scrolling, if you just pause momentarily and hover, that's enough for it to think, oh, you're interested. And you're not at all. You might be absolutely horror-struck at something you've just seen and just some kind of AI generated awfulness. But it will interpret that as a interest, when obviously nothing could be further from the truth. But the more that you are active, the more that you engage with positive content and what you want to see, then the better your feed will be. And I think that's a really good thing to remember, that we have more choice and we have more control than we think we do. Thank you very much. Now I've got to figure out how to stop this.